there is an inflammation in your body somewhere. It's just accumulating, and one fine day, well, there you go. So, for example, the inflammation in the heart artery, then the good cholesterol, the good guys, will kind of like try to heal your inflammation, and in the process causes a blockage, and you can call that what? Myocardial infarction, so it's unfortunate, but actually it's the inflammation that is the bad thing that has been going on for years, and the cholesterol is trying to fix it, but in the process it causes a heart attack to patients. But it's not the cholesterol, it's the inflammation. Now, let me today highlight on something that I briefly mentioned in the last presentation, but a little bit more. And this is called glyphosate, herbicides. All right. So I pull up this one just 5 minutes before we started. I Googled and I found this WebMD, right? Everyone knows WebMD. Okay. So I guess it's credible enough. So what does WebMD have to say about this ingredient, glyphosate herbicides and your health? Oh, quite recent, huh? June 24th, 2024. What is glyphosate? Glyphosate is an herbicide used to kill certain plants and grasses, manage how plants grow, get crops ready for harvest, and ripen fruit. It's called a non-selective herbicide, which means that it kills most plants to which it is applied. It works by stopping plants from making certain types of protein that enables them to grow. All right. So, guys, if it's going to kill, here it says, I'm not making this up, which means that it kills most plants to which it is applied. Then what good is it anyway, right? If it's going to kill the plants and not just the weeds. Are you with me? So, the good scientists, right, instead of helping humanity, they're being paid by commercial companies. They came up with GMO, genetically modified, right? GMO, genetically modified to not allow the glyphosate to hunt, right? So that it can still grow and bear fruit and vegetables and stuff, right? GMO, to endure the attack of the glyphosate and still grow. So the glyphosate kill other other things like weeds and whatever. And it goes into the plant that you eat the fruit and you eat the vegetables. Wow. Now that's pretty smart of them, isn't it? Okay, let's take a look. Glyphosate has been used in the US since 1974 and is one of the nation's most popular herbicide. It's used on lawns, gardens, forests, and for agriculture. Let's move on. Glyphosate herbicide uses has many different uses. It's used everywhere from home agriculture. Many farmers use it during food production. It's often used on fruit and vegetable crops. You eat fruits and vegetables, right? Glyphosate resistant crops such as canola. Wow. Glyphosate resistant. That means glyphosate doesn't kill these plants, all right? Such as canola, corn, cotton, soybeans, right? These first few, they are what? Vegetable oils, right? Sugar beets and wheat. Wow, wheat is what? You make bread with it, right? Plantings, lawns, greenhouses, aquatic plants, and forest plantings. The biggest users of glyphosate are growers of crops that have been genetically engineered. Remember I told you about the GMO? To be resistant to the herbicide. Allows the plant to survive while killing nearby weeds. The crops with the highest use of glyphosate are modified corn, cotton, and soya beans. Okay. certain glyphosate products can be used to help blah, 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 and it goes on. Okay, all right. So essentially, right, this glyphosate, it causes harm to us, okay? It causes harm to our body. It causes harm to our body as in, let me just, yeah, well, it's about cancer, right? It's very simple, guys. If I can just, hang on just a moment. All right, I just Google glyphosate. Have been
Recording
used
in
as
progress.
lubricant before the 1920s, and in around 1920, the what you call it, the seed oil was introduced to the world, and uh, as soon as it was introduced, wow, you find that heart cancer, all these diseases starts to crop up, and can see also the American Heart Association has been promoting it. Okay, and the American Heart Association, which is funded handsomely by the big pharma, they basically have been promoting the use of vegetable oil. Because you can see in 1961, they say if you want to be healthy, you just have to substitute vegetable oil. That means use vegetable oil for saturated fats. Saturated fats are animal fats. So don't use animal fats, use vegetable oil if you want to have a healthy heart, which is the total opposite. Okay, because as soon as they introduce that, the heart cases went up, and not only did the heart cases went up, so at the same time you have other things like cancer, like diabetes, Alzheimer, obesity. All these things also shot up. So very briefly, I highlighted in previous seminars that from these National Institutes of Health, this particular document published in 2023 talks about the vegetable oil, which is the active ingredient is linoleic acid or omega-6. And here it says that the usage of linoleic acid has actually increased 14 to 25 times more than the recommended rate, which is safe. Okay, so what is essential for our body is a minuscule amount, but now because of seed oil that is being used, the standard American diet comprises 14 to 25 times more omega-6 fatty acid. Okay, now as a result of that, uh, the this is just a kind of a summary of the content of omega-6, and you can see from safflower oil is 70%, very high content. Grapeseed oil is also 70%, sunflower 68%, corn oil 54%, cottonseed oil 52%, soybean oil. Remember just now I talked about glyphosate. You see how they are linked together because these are GMOs, so they can, kind of withstand the glyphosate and still grow, and they are being crushed, the seeds, into these oils and being consumed by us. And the most famous one, as you go down in the red region, is canola oil, 19%. Olive oil, avocado oil, yeah, they are safe, but only if you do not use heat. The moment you use heat, then the oxidation arises in these two oils, all right? So don't be fooled by the advertising, but you must be aware that olive oil and avocado oil only if it is without heat. Then lard and palm oil, 10%. And the safest one is coconut oil and butter, 2%. Okay? Coconut oil and butter, the commonly found ones, 2%. Here, in conclusion, from this article being published, is the oxidative stress, tissue damage, mitochondrial dysfunction from excess LA. So this mitochondrial dysfunction, that's talking about your cells, the mitochondria, which is not functioning properly, that makes us sick. Because if your cells are not functioning properly due to dysfunction, how can you be healthy, right? And it is responsible for cardiovascular disease, Alzheimer's onset, and also additional chronic diseases, including cancer, dementia, obesity, and diabetes, and so on. All right, guys. So just on this glyphosate and this seed oil, I'm not even talking about the toxins found in your other food stuff, like you have human well, not human, sorry, growth hormones in animals, what you have antibiotics being fed to them in animals, and so many other stuff out there, and all the chemicals and everything, right? They find themselves into our body, our system, and also the additives. Remember, I talked about anything which is like extended, prolonged life. They have added a lot of chemicals. That's why, guys, we are sick. We are all sick, all right? And as if that is not enough, they did something quite uh, damaging. Pandemic. What did they do? They gave us this. And that's why nowadays you have what do they call the cancers of today? Um, Turbo cancer, something like that. I don't know. It's like once you're diagnosed, very fast you're gone, turbo cancers. Come on, guys. In the past, you hardly have cancer before seed oil was introduced. And then you have the normal kind of cancers, right? And then now you have turbo cancer. So what's happening? What's happening? So we have to um, know what to do for our own sake rather than because by listening to them, it's making us sick, isn't it? And that's the whole purpose of seminar, not just because we want to sell you something. Of course, you have to buy something to treat yourself, but more so of having that knowledge, which will save you tons of money if you were to go the other way and end up in a hospital or emergency facility and treatment. It will cost you a lot more. All right. So without much further ado, let me just introduce to you what our product is all about. It's this wonderful electroacupuncture. And this electroacupuncture, as the name suggests, of course, is derived from acupuncture. And acupuncture is 3,000 years old, something which has been around for 3,000 years. It must be amazing, right? Then why is acupuncture is not the main stream treatment for everybody? Well, this is where you have to investigate into what happened in the last 100 odd years. Introduction of big pharma. All right. So this big pharma, they wanted to control the marketing side of things, and therefore They control the medical schools, they control the hospitals, they control even the FDAs, and that's why they are up there, and the acupuncture and other alternative, so-called labeled alternative practice, they have been put in the kind of sideline. All right, but it doesn't mean that they don't work. It's just that they want to sell their medicine, their pills, their chemotherapy, their whatever. Okay. Now, the thing to understand for yourself is that there is no pill or drug that can heal you. Very strong statement to make. Okay. I want you to think about it. There is no drug that you or your family or anyone taking it right now that can heal you. If I'm wrong, put up your hand and talk to me, all right? Because it can relieve you, but it cannot heal you. And the more you take, you find that the potency will keep going up. You have to get it stronger and stronger until one fine day, even the drug doesn't work anymore for you. Am I right? So it's not really a treatment. It's just to get rid of the symptom. Another way of putting it is that if you take one drug, there'll be two new problems that will come up for you, because first of all, the more drugs you take, it's going to affect what? Your kidneys, your liver, your other organs will be affected, isn't it? So that's why people who have been on these monthly maintenance drugs for a few years, they end up having the most common one is a kidney problem. Okay, and that can be a big problem, because once your kidneys are affected, your other organs, will also be affected. Another more common problem is today you find a lot of people with diabetes. Am I right? And also, even young people nowadays, they have obesity, and obesity can lead to a lot of different diseases. So we are what we eat, and we have to be really smart about it, because don't think that this can of Coke, even though it says what do you call it, Diet Coke or Coke Zero, right? It contains chemical, guys. you know there's this story that I heard before, that this McDonald French fries, which is like longish, slimish, right? Kind of unique kind of look and taste. They have actually been, I don't know, processed their own method, their own formula, and someone the French fries on the road outside his house. And the next day, when he went to look at the French fries on the ground, it's still there. All right, it's still there. The birds will not eat it. Birds are smarter, right? They will not eat it. But then they saw ants, the ants that ate the French fries, they're all stuck to it and they're all dead. So, if you have children or you yourself, you love this fast food, French fries from McDonald's, think again, all right? Oh, do your own experiment. Just go and buy, and yeah, like what I've been telling you about that story. Why don't you just accidentally drop it in front of your house and see what happens on the following day? Okay, I'm not making this up. Wow, it's a lot of chemicals in the food that we have and consume nowadays. That's why our body is crying out for help. Okay, our body is crying out for help. What can you do to help your body? I mean, tell me the options you have. If this is a workshop, what options do you have? Okay, some will say, I go and exercise. I do my jogging, my cycling, my hiking, my gym, get a picture? Isn't that what we do? I do that too. I play golf, I go to the gym, right? Many people do that, but internally, you're still exposed to this food because you still go to the restaurants to eat. You still buy certain things, from outside. If you live in a city, it's hard for you to avoid, isn't it? I mean, you try your very best, but still, there's this exposure of toxins that still find their way into your body. Am I right? Okay, so how can you negate the bad stuff that's affecting us? All right, I'll come to that in a short while. I'm giving you solution. All right, I'm giving you solution. So here we go. Acupuncture and electroacupuncture. If you want to know more about it, it's a 3,000-year-old technology. You can buy this book from Amazon and have a good read. And electroacupuncture is about 80 years old, used in Korea, Japan, Germany, and so on, all right? And in terms of science, people love scientific explanation. In terms of science, yeah, acupuncture and electroacupuncture have a lot. I mean, if you want to talk about stroke, there's probably like 80 journals or more, in the National Institutes of Health alone. That's loads, all right? So I'm just gonna kind of handpick a few just to impress you. First is stem cells. Electroacupuncture promotes central nervous system dependent release of mesenchymal stem cells, meaning electroacupuncture, when you use it, can promote the release of mesenchymal stem cells. Guys, those are the stem cells from your body. And we all know what stem cells can do, don't we? Right? They can repair your damaged cells. So by using this little wonder, right? And by the way, this is a medical device. It has a US FDA registration, battery operated, and you can kind of travel with it and use it anywhere. It's portable and it's a medical device, all right? Amazing. Now, the other scientific argument is this. This is from Nature. Electroacupuncture activates neurons to switch off inflammation. Remember I said we have loads of inflammation in our body, and this little thing can switch off the inflammation in your body. Now, that is really wonderful. Guys, it says here, electroacupuncture activates neurons to switch off the inflammation. And this is Nature. Google Nature. It's yeah, it's purported to be the #1 medical journal, all right, used by doctors. Now, another one is acupuncture enhances generation of nitric oxide. So when nitric oxide is increased in your body, then your circulatory system is improved. So it's a good thing, all right? It's a good thing. And another good thing is acupuncture and its ability to restore and maintain immune homeostasis. Our immune system is like Star Wars. When you have unwanted elements, it shoots them down, right? But then sometimes, because of the toxins, our immune system is a little bit crazy, all right? It may be overactive and it will attack itself like lupus, or it may be underperforming, and when you have tumor and you succumb to cancer, okay? Here with electroacupuncture, it can maintain the homeostasis state, which is in Chinese, we call it the yin and yang, the homeostasis. Isn't that wonderful? Amazing, isn't it? Right? So these four and many more, there are many more, okay? I'll let you go Google it yourself. Nowadays it's good, right? When you Google, you have the AI to tell you everything, right? Can even have Chat GPT and you can put in whatever and you can find out. So I'm not making this up, guys. It is what it is. I'm merely presenting these facts to you so that you can research further. So this is a medical device. So we're talking about curing, right? Curing all these different problems and more. And it comes in a package, in a box like this. And like all medical devices, if you're using a pacemaker, do not use the product. If you're pregnant, do not use. If your child under 3 years of age, do not use. Patient with malignant tumors do not use now. This is a little bit sensitive because this product, when it is registered with the FDA in Taiwan and many countries and US, it wasn't registered as a cancer curing device. Because guys, even if you Google today, you can never find a medical device that can cure cancer because they will never register that device. Okay, so it's a very sensitive, very delicate. When you have the big C, even if you make certain claims, upload the video on YouTube or Facebook, they will close your account or they will take it down. You know, so it's all protected. It's a whole big conspiracy. So when people have cancer, what do they do, guys? Chemotherapy, isn't it? Chemotherapy, radiotherapy. These are multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical companies, guys. It's big, big business we are talking about. And here I'm telling you that this can also help the big C. Wow. We'll put them out of business. No, anyway, we're gonna take their market share and they don't like it. Okay, so that's why we have to be very careful. Going on, patient with hemorrhagic tendencies, patient with tuberculosis and chronic alcoholic. All right, so this is the chart that comes with the package, and here you can see so many different points. All right, so this is the front and the back, and easily. You can see the eyes, the limbs, and you can even see the heart, the intestinal area, and the cervical spine. The ladies, uterus and female organs here, and the male organ, prostate, and is here, hemorrhoids. So many, so many. So how does it work? Well, it has this little probe thing you put onto your. And guys, we have acupuncture points all over our body, but we choose the hand. It can be left hand or right hand, doesn't matter. We choose the hand because it's convenient and it's also the cleanest, right? I mean, we could have chosen the feet, but you got to bend and then, it may not be clean, right? So we choose the hand, and there's a lot that covers almost everything, and you can treat yourself. So with this little tiny probe, you see it's not even sharp, it's non-invasive, it's roundish. You just touch the skin, okay? And you touch where? The acu points, all right? See, this thing comes with it, and it's a reproduction of what I've just shared. So you just touch the skin of the point, and there'll be a few things that can happen. You either feel the vibration. If it is vibration, means it's onset, there is a mild blockage, or you feel a stronger like arai or sensation, all right? So in which case, then we know there is a blockage. You see, 3,000 years ago, traditional Chinese medicine already believed that we of energy, which in the Western world, only in 2012, at a place called CERN in Switzerland, when they simulated the Big Bang with a Large Hadron Collider, and the person who put forward the theory in 1964, Peter Higgs, was awarded the Nobel Prize in 2013. Before he passed away in 2015, I've been following this very closely, even before I start selling these products. And interestingly, they spent more than $10 billion, 7,000 scientists, and they discovered that, yes, we are made of energy, all right? So this is what they call particle, okay, or matter. And then if you look at the hydrogen, carbon, and all the molecules that we are made of, which are then made of atoms, and then the subatomic particle of quarks and muons and everything going down, okay, it's just an energy field, which they name it after Peter Higgs, so they call it the Higgs boson. All right, I don't want to bore you, but yeah, the Western scientists have concluded in 2012 that we are made of energy. Anyway, so coming back to the traditional Chinese medicine, we are made of energy. So if something is wrong with us, go fix your energy. That's logical, isn't it, right? Guys, if someone is sick, is the energy high or is the energy low. Energy is low, right? You see, in Western medicine, they look at your heart, your kidneys, your liver, they look at your organs separately. But in traditional Chinese medicine, they look at all the organs. They are correlated, they're related. There's a relationship. Okay? Of that, the traditional, or we call it TCM, they believe that a lot of your sicknesses is also because of your emotions. Okay, we're talking about 3,000 years ago. You don't have the seed oil, you don't have the modern toxins that we find today in our food system, right? Herbicides. So in the past, for thousands of years, they have always been, they believe that our sicknesses are caused by emotions. So, for example, if someone has anxiety, then it will harm your heart. If someone has always angry, mad, then it will harm your liver. If someone is like always worrying a lot, it will harm your spleen. And then your spleen is related to your stomach, the yin and the yang. Remember, worry, they don't have a lot of appetite. Makes sense, right? Then people who live in fear, it affects their kidneys, and kidneys affect the bladder, blah, blah, blah. All right. So there is a correlation. But with Western medicine, they kind of look everything in isolation by itself, which is wrong, which is incorrect, because everything is related in our whole body system. So here you find something very interesting about acupuncture is that it unblocks the blockages. So as I've said, if you put in a certain point and you're painful, then there is a blockage. All right. By the way, we have 15 levels, level 1 to level 15. So you start from level 1 and 2, very low, and then you move a higher level as the pain or the vibration becomes less. Then you can increase uh, the level. And when you increase the level, then that you are on your way to healing. Are you with me? Okay, so you start from low and then you move your way to higher. And that's why this thing is very scientific, because the way this works is this, all right? When you apply the current to go to your particular point, and if there is a blockage, a lot will bounce back. And that's why you feel very painful, all right? Then if there is a mild blockage and then you touch the point, it goes there is a mild blockage, part of it will bounce back, and that's where you function. Are you with me? So this machine is interpreting your body's condition. It doesn't do anything more, it doesn't do anything less. That's why it's 100% accurate. 100%. Now, if you can diagnose something early, prevention is better than cure. For example, 1 out of 8 women will have breast cancer. Yeah. 1 out of 8 women in US, I suppose it's in the world, right? 1 out of 8 will have breast cancer. And guys, we have a breast tumor point, breast tumor. So all the people that I've introduced this particular machine, when you diagnose a woman, please include this point. Okay? Now, having said that, this machine can diagnose, this machine can also relieve. In other words, it can treat you as well. So you're not just picking it up, what is wrong with you, but you can also treat yourself. So it's a DIY, do it yourself. Isn't it wonderful? So you can kind of mark the points, there'll be so many points that you have sharp sensation. You can then spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes per point, and you can help treat yourself. And then when the pain disappears or the vibration dissipates, then you can increase the level. That's you're healing. And how else do you know you're healing? Well, if you're a diabetic and then you suddenly find yourself after having your food, that your sugar level doesn't spike. So you're anyway, for example, a guy has a prostate and in the middle of the night will wake up 3 or 4 times to pee, right? Suddenly it goes down to 1 time or none, then you're healed, isn't it? So it's a wonderful thing. It's going to prove to you, and it's just simply amazing. All right. So that is for the detect and treatment for these points. And now I'm going to introduce to you these clips, right? This pair of clips, which is connected to the same device. It comes together in a set, all right? And you just clip it to your earlobes. And then you play it for 1 hour. It's your choice, okay? And you can do it a couple of times a day, no problem. And it's a vagus nerve stimulator. So what is a vagus nerve? Why do we need to stimulate our vagus nerve? The vagus nerve is, you can see the yellow part in the diagram, is actually connected to all our organs, connected to your heart, your digestive system, your everything. It's something that really regulate your heartbeat and regulate your thinking, your movement, your everything. Without this vagus nerve, or if something is wrong with your vagus nerve, you will not be able to function properly. Okay? So it's very important because the vagus nerve is actually 80,000 nerves. Wow, guys, 80 nerves. Isn't it important? So let's go on and I'll tell you more about it. All right, so according to WebMD, the vagus nerve is an integral part of your autonomic nervous system. This part of your nervous system controls the things your body does without your conscious input, such as breathing, digesting food, and sweating. Can you tell your heart how to beat, or your heart will just beat by itself? You know what I mean? It would beat by itself automatically. Can you eat and then you say digest slowly, or the digestive system will just automatically, work by itself? Isn't it? So you cannot control it. It's something that is automatic, without your conscious input. That's what this vagus nerve does. All right. So it regulates your heart rate, your taste, your speech, your skin sensation, muscle sensation, immune response, blood pressure, mucus production, saliva production, digestion, frequency of urination, mood, etc., etc. Guys, our hospitals today, they don't have any medical device to diagnose your vagus nerve problem. All the things that you have, from the CT scan to the MRI to the X-ray machines to the ultrasound and whatever else they have, ECG, EEG, whatever, right? They are all centered on, I call them the hardware. Your heart, your kidney, your liver, your this and that, right? They focus all onto your hardware, that they don't focus on your nerves. So your nerves are like your software. So if you have a computer, that's the hardware. Without the software, it cannot operate. So if you have one, that means it malfunctions, then these are the symptoms like acid reflux, abdominal pain, bloating, lack of a gag reflex, difficulty swallowing, dizziness, fainting, hoarse voice, wheezing, unexplained weight loss, loss of appetite, feeling full after eating very little food, nausea, vomiting, chronic mood issues or disorder, including Alzheimer. Okay, so if you have one of these or combination and you go see a doctor, they put you on if you complain about your heart, then they will just go and do a CT scan or, you know, uh, angiogram, whatever, right? And then they'll come out and say, there's nothing wrong with your heart. There's no blockage. But they're not looking at the wiring. They're looking at the physical blockages in your arteries, all right? And likewise, if you say, oh, you cannot digest properly, they will just see, they put a scope and take a look, what is wrong with it. And then they say, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. And that's why a lot of people, especially during the pandemic and after the pandemic, something happened. the COVID virus has actually damaged the vagus nerve, and a lot of people suddenly have like arrhythmia, rapid heartbeat, hypertension, and so on. And also, guys, this jab that we have been taking, all right, some have taken twice, some have taken thrice, and it has affected our vagus nerve, isn't it? Because a lot of people after the jab, also you find the heartbeat, you find the stroke, you find the digestive system, even the memory loss, fog, and so on. They are all part of the vagus nerve system. Okay, so you go diagnose, you cannot find anything. And then if you keep going back, and they say, oh, maybe you're making it up. They are trying to tell you that psychologically you're crazy, right? Just because they cannot diagnose you, they say you're crazy. All right. So that is the harsh reality of what's going on. So here, another good thing about this vagus nerve stimulator, which is the one that we have, is that it also improves your memory recall. Okay, it improves your memory recall, and therefore it will help people with dementia, isn't it? People with dementia, they forget their children, they forget, who is in front of them, and so on, which is quite sad. So if they stimulate, frequently, then it will help the memory. All right. Now moving on. So this COVID-19 causes a condition called dysautonomia, and dysautonomia, it affects your nervous system. And here it also shows the relationship of COVID-19 affecting your vagus nerve because of hyperinflation, and it produces what they call cytokine storm. And this cytokine storm is dangerous for us because it affects our immune system, our metabolic disorder, cancer, and sepsis. All right. So guys, there are a lot of people in the world who had the COVID virus, and a lot more had taken the jab. So question is, what are we going to do about it? I mean, you find that time and time again, even sports athletes, they are healthy, and all of a sudden they just drop dead. I mean, that is crazy, right? You have cyclists, you have badminton players, you have basketball players, you have whatever. So do something every day and heal your vagus nerve. Okay? Heal your vagus nerve rather than like a walking time bomb, waiting for something bad to happen. Okay? So acid reflux, yes, I see in the chat. Yeah, it's a vagus nerve problem. Definitely. You saw on the list, right? The acid reflux. Because if they check and there's nothing wrong with your stomach and your heart, because sometimes with the acid reflux, it feels like heartburn, and your heart is okay, your stomach is, why is it churning out? It's because your vagus nerve is having problem. All right. Now moving on. This company is from Taiwan, and next year they're going for listing in Nasdaq, established since 1999. So this is Taiwan technology, guys, and you would agree with me that Taiwan technology is better, right, in terms of electronic devices. Now this is the owner, Terry Chiang, and I've never seen a company with so many medical device licenses, guys. There is a big difference between medical device product like this, because medical device, you need to have hospitals and doctors and clinical trial for it to be approved and submitted to the FDA in Taiwan, right? If you are just talking about Alibaba kind of product, just a manufacturer, they manufacture an electronic device, they don't need the proper certification. But to be a medical device, not only you need certain requirement, but you also need ISO 13485. And this company has it. The ISO 13485 is from the UK. So moving on with all the certification, registered with the FDA in Taiwan, in China, in USA, cost them what, 2 million and 6.5 years to get it done. We are the first one and also the last one. So we are the only one. Acupuncture registered with the US FDA. And in Korea, in Japan, the ISO that I talked about, 13485, that is for medical devices, and that is from UK. And we have also in Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Russia, Australia, Germany, and WHO knows about it. Now, in terms of there is a lot, okay? Now, just in case those of you who may not know, let me just, of these testimonies, let me just share with you in the chat. You can copy and paste it somewhere so that you can watch it later. These are all the testimonies that we have up to date within our community, okay? And I'm the one who personally interviews them or records them. So I know who they are, and they are really amazing. So here you can very quickly see it helps people with kidney, hemorrhoid, sleep better, thoracic, lumbar, hypertension, back pain, cough, heal, accurate diagnosis, cervical spine, thyroid, lung disease, sciatica, hypertension, insomnia, diabetes, and prostate, vertigo, insomnia, constipation, heart problem, blurry vision, diabetes type 2, eyesight, uterine cancer gone. Eye doc saved my life, had a heart attack, rotator cuff, prostate, bipolar, healed, pain, 3 times stroke patient's carotid artery became softer, herniated disc in lower back, neuropathy, Parkinson's disease, sense of smell came back after 40 years, onset Parkinson's disease, she couldn't write, and after using it for a few times, she could write, cataract gone, tingling feet, blah, 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 everything is okay, trigger finger, and this one is when the founder came here in August 16 to the Philippines, all right? So I just want you to feel the atmosphere and we had a medical mission in Manila. Very big. Now, next, this is equally important, amazing medical device from the same manufacturer, and is known as the D178. Okay, so this D178, like all medical devices, again, disclaimer, people who use a pacemaker or electronic heart lung devices, electronic device in your body, you cannot use. People with foreign metal objects in the body, well, if it is titanium or stent in the heart, okay, no problem. People with malignant tumors, like I said, it wasn't used as a cancer curing device when it was registered, so we cannot claim that it can cure cancer because there's no medical device in the world registered with any FDA that can do that, because they will not register it, because they want you to go through chemotherapy. People who have not fully recovered from surgery, pregnant women, children under 3 years of age. When you have it delivered, it comes in a box. These are all the parts, and when you assemble it, this is how it looks like. Okay, so 2 people can enjoy one machine, 2 people. Now, the first one is the guy who you can see puts his feet on this blue thing, right? And the second one is the lady who sits on the mat. Now, what happens? Well, this machine will provide negative ion. I repeat, this machine will produce negative ion to your body. And what happens when it does that? Well, our blood pH will become normal. Then you may ask, why isn't our blood pH normal? Well, sad to say, our blood pH is less than the normal 7.35 to 7.45, okay? Because when we have inflammation in our body, the blood pH also becomes more acidic. All right, to substantiate, let me just prove a point. This article here, if you can read above the highlight, local acidification may develop also during acute and chronic inflammation. So during acute, short-term, chronic, long-term, then the body will become acidic. All right. Now, when our body's pH becomes acidic, tumor starts to form. And if it gets lower, then it becomes malignant, all right? I didn't say this. It's Dr. Otto Warburg, okay? Dr. Otto Warburg is the one who said it. And yeah, Dr. Otto Warburg won the Nobel Prize in 1931, okay, for the root cause of cancer. And he said, cancerous tissues are acidic, whereas healthy tissues are alkaline. Wow, there you go. Cancerous tissues are acidic, whereas healthy tissues are alkaline. Something happened, guys. When the pH is normal, mild alkaline, 7.35 to 7.45 pH, level in your blood is the highest. But when it goes down to acidic, the oxygen level is low. It gets lower and lower. And that's where cancer, tumor, because why? According to Dr. Otto Warburg, all right, according to Dr. Otto Warburg, just going down, all normal cells have an absolute requirement for oxygen, but cancer cells can live without oxygen. Deprive a cell 35% of its oxygen for 48 hours, and it may become cancerous. Wow. So, people who have cancer, all types of cancer, all you need to do is just to reverse their blood pH to become normal again. When the blood pH becomes normal again, the oxygen level and your body will heal itself. Really? Is it as simple as that? Because when your blood pH is normal, the oxygen level is high, the cancer cells cannot survive. Okay? Guys, go give it a try. What have you got to lose? Right? And not only that, okay, not only that, I had to mute. Not only that, guys, and thanks to Timothy, right, who sent me this, and I looked at it, amazed. Parasites and the pH miracle diet. Look at the highlight. Okay, the highlight. Let me read it. What do pH and parasites have to do with one another? The human body has a normal pH at here it says around 7.4. Remember what I said, 7.35 to 7.45, right? This is slightly alkaline. Parasites, listen to this. Parasites, which are unfriendly bacteria, viruses, protozoa, amoeba, sorry, I hope I pronounced correctly, amoebas, and microscopic worms cannot live. Guys, cannot live between a pH of 7.2 to 7.4. Wow. I don't know if you can open up your stomach and in large intestine and small intestine and see what kind of parasites live in there. I think if you can, it will shock you. It will frighten you. Many people believe that the digestive system is where all the problems begin from there. Because if you have a good digestive system, right? If you have a lot of parasites, there's a lot of gas. What's the gas? Well, it's the worms farting, right? The ammonia gas, right? There you go. So, viruses, bacteria. Don't you want to kill viruses, bacteria, not to mention the worms and whatnot? Guys, don't you want to kill them and to become healthy, apart from the fact that you have more oxygen in your blood so that even cancer will disappear? Wow, really? Tell me if there are other better options. I cannot think of a better option. I have researched and researched and researched, and I cannot find a better option to get rid of these parasites. Yeah, you can go for the colon detox and whatever, it'll still come back. Because why? You get rid of it, but some of them are hiding in somewhere, hooked, right? You cannot totally get rid of them. And you're still below. You haven't done anything for your blood pH. It's still gonna grow back, it's still gonna come back, it's still gonna infest, in your. So do the D178 every day, all right? And you will have a healthy environment for your cells. How can your cells be healthy if the environment which the cells live on, which is the blood, and they are not healthy? Does it make sense? Right? Now, guys, if I haven't frightened you enough, right, until now, I want to frighten you. I'm so bad. I want to frighten you. Okay. I found this article. Where has it gone to? Yeah, I think. All right. Let me just one, two. Yeah, I think this one will frighten you. This one will definitely frighten you. Sorry to frighten you guys, but I have no choice but to frighten you. Look at this. Aha, new scientist. Okay. Now, what does it say here? New 1 in 2 cancer. Figure sounds scarier than it is. 1 in 2. Let's move on. At least 1 in 2. If you were born in the UK, that is the likelihood you'll be diagnosed with cancer at some point, according to a new research funded by Cancer Research UK. 1 in 2 will have cancer, funded by the Cancer Research UK. Do you want to take that risk? Or is prevention better than cure? Something to, I mean, it's even nothing to think about. You have to get one. You have to find the money and get one, really, Normally I'm very polite and I'm like, you know, I'm now commanding you for your health and your family's health. You need to go buy one. Because guys, there is no option. I'm being honest, there is no better option. It's amazing. And this D178 is a medical device in Taiwan for more than 10 years. Proven. It's proven, okay? It's been there more than 10 years. Amazing. Now, how do you know that it works? Remember I told you about the negative ion, right? So here we go. I have this tissue paper which is positively charged and your body is negatively charged. You see what happens. Okay, enjoy this little video. Hi, enjoying, huh?
I'm enjoying the machine.
Yeah.
Take this opportunity.
Do you feel anything at all?
No.
Totally nothing, huh?
Yeah, no.
But look at the, wow, standing, yeah? See? Oh, amazing.
Tissue standing.
Tissue standing.
That's a positive.
See, negative and positive. Okay, now, you don't feel any heat at all on your feet. Do you feel any heat?
No heat.
No heat, nothing. Huh? How about you, Kai?
No more.
No more, nothing.
Just sitting in the chair. Nothing happened.
So if I didn't give you this tissue paper, then you will think that this machine is not switched on, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing technology?
Very amazing.
Very amazing. Nothing.
So these are the pictures of wellness centers in Taiwan and in Malaysia. Also, some newspaper articles. Okay, many. And in the Philippines, we have a wellness center in Citadines Hotel in Ortigas, and there will be many more. I believe in Davao, maybe soon, right, Remy? Maybe this week, I don't know, in Davao. And in Malaysia, Dr. Bobby with the cancer organization. And we have set up a company in Vietnam. We're going to start there. And I believe in Singapore, Brian, they already have a company. They already got the approval. So they're going to start wellness center. So we are now going on the wellness center concept to help people and to grow the organization that we have, because the products are really, really amazing. So I thank you all, right? And my apologies if I use any words which are too strong, but yeah, the intention is good, all right? Because I believe and I'm so passionate about this product, and I believe it can help you and your loved ones. Thank you, and please unmute yourself for any Q&A.
Recording stopped.
All right. 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Can
Like,
I
yeah,
can I give you some more
Recording in
research?
progress.
sure.
Can I
You're
give you some more
welcome.
feedback?
Yeah.
What I found that in your body, I learned this years ago, but I never thought to dawn to matchmake in heaven of my information. Now, whereas in your body you get two pods, they're like flowers, and on the left and right, one pod will release this chemical, which gives you strength. Where have you heard of people seeing a vehicle on a person and they're in shock and they want to help and they could lift that car up for some reason? They have this extra strength, or they're in a fight and they get cut and they don't bleed immediately. Well, that pod releases an energy into your body. Now, it's only for a few minutes or a couple minutes, but it's hard to control. But it's only good for a couple minutes, but it'll give you a massive amount of white cells going to the injury part or for the strength. It gives you, and you find afterwards it's done, you get the shakes. You're really shaky and everything. Like somebody was scary, you get the shakes. That's why it's your what are going down. The other pod is does a different purpose. When it releases, is when you're stressed out, you're overwhelmed by society or your work or whatever, and this calms you down. This pod, when it releases this chemical, it takes your stress away. So, in a sense of these two pods, they have two different purposes. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Is that with the eye doc, is that it rejuvenates your nervous system. And what happens is with these pods is they get interrupted by variations of chemicals that we consume in our bodies and that. And you get these medications where you're too depressed, they give you this pill, they give you that pill. And what it does is it tries to mock or this pod that releases the chemical to stop. So what happens is when you do machine, you know how the people say, oh, I feel a little more calmer. I feel more relaxed because you're shutting down the pod that's for your stress. It stays open. This particular pod will produce faster. It'll stay open and consistently bombard your body with this chemical. Whereas this one here, for the energy and the strength, this one here, once it releases after a minute, it takes a long time to rejuvenate again. Whereas this one, it'll make it endlessly. So now you're controlling your system. Whereas with the machine, the acupuncture one, it controls. Oh, this is too much. Shut her down, because now you're reactivating the nerve system to it. Same as like somebody from a war veteran who's got PSPD, and he can't control his feelings, his emotions, like you say. is because that one there stayed open. It all it knows is I have to stay open because of how you're thinking and whatever.
Survival is a flight or fight kind of thing. Yeah.
Exactly. So this all goes hand in hand. So what's happening is, why is it not being once the nerves reactivated, but what is it that's causing it? Well, it seems like an alcoholic. An alcoholic, think of nerves over wanting each other, your nerve system. They don't just go on, they're cross hairs each other. Or there's a coating, seems like a wire, electrical wire on. If you have two wires and you have no coating, they'll spark. But if you got the coating, like cross wires, they won't spark. So what happens is this the chemicals that are in our bodies and that we're getting in, it's depleting the coating on our nerves. So they're shorting out because the coating's depleting on our nerves. And that's where you get people with shakes all the time, you know, when they're drinking a lot. They can't stop the shaking because the coating on the nerves are gone.
Malfunctioning.
Now,
it's just like tremor in Parkinson.
Yes.
Parkinson. You cannot control.
Exactly, because the coating on the nerves are gone. It's a lack of vitamin D in that. But however, this machine, eye doc, reconnects the nerves, even though they're crossed. Here's the kicker. Now the D178, it pushes your body to an alkaline normal state. Now, what's the problem is that our stem cells that we produce by both machines, right? It cannot keep up to the damage is to the body. There's no yin and yang. There's no balance. So what happens is, once you go on that machine, the D178, and you bring your pH up, and you mentioned it there earlier about parasites. If you're killing 99.99% of all parasites in your body, when it reaches that 7.2, right? Because below 7.2, they thrive. Well, then you just got rid of the competition. We'll say good and evil. You just got rid of 80% of evil in your body. Where now, it's like a war. We're losing, or we're losing drastically. So the war's it's being re-won, getting rid of 80% of our problem, which is the parasites. So that now we don't have that anymore. Now I can all this energy I have, I'm wasting all on these parasites. I don't have to go there. Now I can refocus to the body. Now my stem cells are going to repair the coating on my nerves. You don't waste
your energy, and you use that energy into doing something positive to your body.
Yeah, exactly, big time. Because then you're going to start seeing results with both machines. One is, okay, I'm more calm. You're controlling your pod, but the other one is now repairing the damage that's done, which is the coating on the nerves. So this one reactivates the nerves, which keeps me calm. The other one repairs the nerves, which are the coating is gone. And three, the most important thing is, our brain is made up of 80% or more fat, cholesterol.
Yes.
Right. So
we need cholesterol. We need fat.
We need it. It's a known fact. It's without fat, we're done. We can't survive. So one of my other points I'm making at is that once you cure all the parasites, which is killing the proper cholesterol in our brain, because the ammonia kills it quicker than it can rejuvenate itself, right? There goes the other limit. So then when it comes to dementia, Alzheimer's, that's what happens is we're cutting the nerves right off in our brain. We're just killing them. But if you stop it, it will not pursue. It will not continue. It stops in its tracks. Doesn't mean, I have research to see how much repair will rejuvenate of dementia or Alzheimer's, but it will stop it in its track. It will not grow anymore. It's like killing a weed with flower with pesticide, right?
Yeah.
But there's one other thing I want to mention. I did research too about you were talking about the parasites, or I mean pesticides that we spray on our food or genetically alter GMO for
GMO.
plants. Now they come up with another thing. Is after the fact, no matter if your food is organic, even it says on it organic. Oh yeah, it was grown organic. However, they don't have to tell you, well, after the fact, we're going to put this chemical in this confined space, and I have all these containers of vegetables and fruit, whatever, and this combination of chemicals, release it into the air in this confined chamber with all the goods after a certain time frame, that all these foods now have a shelf life of 2 years. What? So now you can't detect it. Like before you detect pear wax in an apple. They're trying to eliminate the
Wow.
visual. So now they can put it in the food, and we'll put it.
You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. Wow.
So now, and that's what they're doing in North America. They're putting a chemical.
That's where science has been used in a very evil way, isn't it?
Oh,
right.
It's unbelievable.
Purely to make money, isn't it?
Yeah, and because now they got a product in Apple. Oh, I don't have to buy this for another 2 years. I got enough stock here for 2 years. Oh wait, I deplete my stock. So your investment got a higher.
It's just like saying my product is sugar free, but then they put something else, like
right. But it's worse because this chemical. Can you imagine what it does to your intestines? It preserves them. Yeah. Nothing will absorb, and that's the other thing.
That's why we all, Kim. That's why we're all sick.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
It's just a walking time bomb for everyone. That's why I'm not saying think about it. I'm saying you have no choice but to buy these two devices.
Correct. You need these both machines.
Unless you can tell me of a better option, isn't it?
This is the ultimate cure for human society.
Amazing.
Because you're going to affect so many other people, big people with power, that they're going to be scurrying because there's no way around it. Especially now with the new political powers of to be are going to expose all these people. We are going to be on such a demand that it's going to drive you all crazy, because I know there's going to be a point, a window. It's like the awake, and where you're awoke and you don't want to believe this, your focused mind, you've been brainwashed. But now people are starting to shift, and once that shift happens, they're going to say, well, there's got to be an alternative. Well, wait a minute, what about this machines here? What? And they're going to be smart. People can research and then fact check much more easier than taking a word from somebody, from a neighbor. They're going to fact check, and they're going to find out, oh my word, these guys actually have machines that cover all these angles of what we're being bombarded with. And now we got a machine that brings our alkali up, that eliminates the enemy, and now lets our stem cells concentrate on the bodies that need to be repaired. It's just
less energy to do that. Amazing. Yeah.
That's why I'm not going to research it more, because the more I research, the more I get more excited, because I know what these machines are going to do.
Okay. Thanks, Tim, because it's getting a bit late too for us guys. And thanks.
I get excited when I start researching.
Thanks for your contribution. And guys, all of you, thank you so much, and take care of yourself. Okay. Is it fine? Hang on. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. So if you want to know more on this Thursday, I have a training, and my training is open style Q&A. All right. So you talk, I talk, or everyone can talk at the same time. So we meet once a week, and we can cover product and everything, whatever, right? Whatever you need to know. And by the way, guys, there is a live chat now in our buydirect.vip live chat. So you can ask anything, okay, in a live chat. Okay, good night for me, and stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.